When I was a kid, I thought everyone had two sets of grandparents that just went by different names. I thought everyone had a grandpa and a grandma, and that everyone had a papa and a nana. Winnie Chandler was my nana, and I continued to call her that all the way up until the end. The point of a eulogy is to help ease the suffering of people mourning a person gone, to contextualize their life, and in doing so, to give grief meaning. To that end, we wanted to make something that would represent Winnie's spirit of life. I regret that in this eulogy we are only able to write it through the specific lens as her grandsons, but I think the way we viewed her was similar to how most people did. My Nana was one of the most loving, strong, and passionate people I've ever had the pleasure of knowing, and her sense of humor shone through even the toughest moments. Her spirit and strength of character can be seen in the countless lives she touched throughout her own, whether it was through great acts of kindness or those small cherished moments we got to spend with her. My Nana always wanted to make people smile. Growing up, our family used to run these events called chili cook-offs, where the neighborhood would all get together to pit their chili recipes against each other. In the 2005 chili cook-off, my Nana won facing off against her daughter Sherry and son Kenny, who were both using her same recipe. The fireman that reviewed the chili told my Nana that though hers was the best, there was a clear worse chili. My Nana decided to give the award she won to this woman instead. When I was a kid, my Nana owned a Super Nintendo. I think she figured that when you've got grandkids, there's a reason to own a Super Nintendo. I distinctly remember sitting on the ground of the room she would eventually pass in, playing Super Mario World. My Nana would sit on the edge of the bed, watching me and talking with me. She sported the same smile she did when I would come over while I was supposed to be walking the dog, and she and my papa would sit with me while I ate their cookies. The same smile she had in her last few days. These are only a few examples of the effort she would make to connect and share joy with people.
My brothers asked me if I would say some things about my Nana. I thought, what do I talk about? Do I talk about how strong she was? Do I talk about how much fun she was? Do I talk about how influential she was in my life. What can you possibly say about such an amazing person? What could I possibly say in 90 short seconds that would convey what she meant to me? My Nana had a heart the size of Texas. She loved animals. She's actually had more pets than I can count in my lifetime. She loved plants. She famously had a green thumb. She loved people, and people loved her. She was a blast. Life of the party. But most of all, she loved her family. She had so much love to give, and I was lucky enough to be on the receiving end of it. Some of my earliest memories of my Nana are of me sitting on her lap. That is, until her legs went numb and she kicked me off, earning me the title Bony Butt and the lipstick. Every time we would come visit, she would plant a giant lipstick-covered kiss square on the center of my cheek. And I couldn't wipe it off either, because that would be wiping away the kiss. No, it had to sit as a reminder of how much she loved me. She actually made me tacos for the first time I'd ever had them. And I remember holding it up and asking, how am I supposed to eat this without everything falling out? So she just tilted her head to the side and took a big bite of it. I would just sit and watch her cook sometimes, trying to soak up as much of the wisdom as I could. In fact, a lot of the things I know how to cook today, I learned from watching her cook. And me and my brothers knew, if Nana was making food, it was gonna be delicious. She taught me so much. She gave me so much love. I can't imagine who I would be today if I didn't have her in my life.
Winnie was the greatest grandma a guy could ever ask for. She was kind, funny, smart, loving, and passionate. She never let the little things in life get her down. She just always kept moving forward, no matter what. She wasn't the type of grandmother you'd only see at Sunday dinners. She made sure that her grandkids truly saw her as just another part of the family. She did this by not just being there for the big moments, but by being there for nearly all the moments. I think that's what I'm going to remember most about her. Those seemingly uneventful moments we shared. How she let me sneak off into her cabinet and grab those amazing kettle-cooked chips she always made sure were stocked. Or playing Uno with her on Christmas Eve. Or how she used to cut my hair as a kid up until I was about 15. Or how she still called me baby boy as I approached my 30th birthday. I'll always remember how much fun she was, how I felt like I could always be my true self around her, how she loved unconditionally. I'm really, really going to miss her.
I'd like to end things with a poem that I think represents the way she viewed her passing, called By Herself and Her Friends by Joyce Grenfell. If I should go before the rest of you, break not a flower, nor inscribe a stone, nor when I'm gone speak in a Sunday voice, but be usual selves that I have known. Weep if you must, parting is hell, but life goes on, so sing as well.